Hey, what's up guys? It's Ezra. Welcome back to Big Time Eaters and welcome back to Big Time Recipes. Today we're going to be going over the most classic, comforting, sweet dish you didn't know you wanted. We're doing rice pudding. Let's talk about the ingredients. We've got some elements of the arroz con leche with condensed milk, unsalted butter, full stick, cloves, green cardamom pods, some vanilla extract, cinnamon sticks, as well as some ground cinnamon, sweet rice. Got whole nutmeg, I'm getting my revenge, whole milk, heavy cream, some light brown sugar, apples, and walnuts and almonds. Okay guys, let's go ahead and get started. I've measured out my whole milk as well as my heavy cream. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go heat it up on the stove and then we'll get our rice cooking right here on the burner. All right guys, so we got the heavy cream and milk into our pot over there heating up. I do also want to steep in some of our aromatics here, taking some Indian influences, some chai influences. We're going to add in some cloves, some green cardamom pods, so make sure to crush these up a little bit to release those good flavors, cinnamon sticks, as well as some freshly ground nutmeg. All right guys, let's go ahead and start cooking our rice. Like I mentioned, we are using a short grain rice here, aka sushi rice, aka sweet rice. We want the short grain because it has that nice glutinous texture. It's almost reminiscent of what you'd get from a sticky rice pudding, mango sticky rice topped with coconut cream. But I like that texture as opposed to the longer grain that you like jasmine or basmati. It'll still work. However, I want that nice creaminess and texture that I get from the sweet rice. Using this brand right here, this is Hakubai. Typically use this for sushi, but it'll also work in this. So 300 grams of that, and of course, ingredients will be listed below. I'm gonna get this into a 5 out of 10 induction burner, along with a stick of butter. I'm gonna let the butter get a head start here first. And the reason we are letting the butter get a head start first is we want to sort of toast the grains and brown the butter a little bit so we get some of that nuttiness, the notes that you get from a more cooked butter, so it's more pronounced. Toasting the grains will allow them to stay separate once we get the milk and everything in, so it doesn't kind of turn into a mushy mess. Once we're down to that last bit of butter, I can go ahead and add in my rice. We're going to let this roll around a little bit more. And I do want to note I am using unsalted butter because we already salted our milk and cream mixture, so we don't want an overload of salt. At this point, go ahead and add in my rice. And another thing to note, I did not wash this rice. We want that extra starchiness to help thicken and bring everything together. So adding in that rice now. And we'll let this go for about 3 to 5 minutes. So we're right on the verge of real brown butter, and we'll give these rice grains a second to brown. So I'll see you in a second. Our grains are starting to toast, and in the kitchen here, it's starting to smell of brown butter. It's smelling really good, I cannot lie. And you can see the grains have toasted, started to turn a little bit translucent, and that's going to help keep them separated as we continue the cooking process. We've heated up our spiced milk and cream mixture over there, and we're going to start to add that in stages to our rice, a little bit at a time, and then throw it all in, and that will come together as our rice pudding. Got our milk and cream mixture. We're gonna go ahead and add in a portion of that. I'm gonna add about, we'll say, a quarter of it. Okay. Milk mixture doesn't have to be too crazy hot. We just want to make it so that the cooking process doesn't stop when we add it in. As you can see, it's still continuing to boil immediately, and we're just going to mix that in. With this milk and cream mixture, we want to reserve about 100 grams, so I'm going to go ahead and do that in this container, and we're going to use that for garnish. All right, guys, as you can see, that moisture is pretty much gone, and that's what this rice is going to do. So you got to make sure you pay attention. We want to add a little bit more of our milk mixture. Go in with another quarter. Incorporate that in. Allow our little rice buddies to soak up the juices. And we only need to do a couple of stages. Unlike risotto, we're not looking for the perfect al dente chew. We want to go a little over that with rice pudding and get that nice chewy glutinous texture that you get from rice pudding. So after this stage of letting the rice soak up our milk mixture, we'll just go ahead and incorporate the rest. And then at that point, we can talk about our garnishes. Round 2 of our rice moisture hot tub, allowing it to release some of the starch. And it's kind of laughing at us. Is like, is that all you got? All right. You're going to get what you deserve, all right? You're going to get all this milk, all right? We're going to go in with the rest here. Allow that to be incorporated. And then, while it's doing this last stage, so we're going to infuse our nuts with a little bit of brown sugar, flavor, and cinnamon, and that will be our nice candied nut. Because who doesn't like a nice warm nut in their dessert? We're going in over medium, about a tablespoon brown sugar. After we add in that last mixture of milk and cream, we're going to shut it up with the lid and let it go for the next 10-15 minutes. We'll check it after 10, probably need about 15. It's been about 15 minutes. Shut it up with a lid, and we're met with this beautiful mixture here. Probably easier if I actually use a spoon. You see that? And I love this because of the technique we utilized. Those grains are separate, but at the same time, so creamy, so flavorful, perfectly cooked. Now we just got to test for seasoning. Okay, seasoning's on point. But right now, we don't have any sweet element in this mixture. So we're gonna bring out the big boy, the big boss, the sweetened condensed milk. This is gonna bring that punch of sweetness that we're looking for. Let's go ahead and open up this can of sweetened condensed, get it added in, take our rice off the heat just to stop that cooking process. Kind of looks similar to something I've seen before.
These nuts.
I don't know. We're gonna go ahead and add it in. Nice thick sweetness. And this is the star player right here. That's gonna bring all the flavor we're looking for. We don't want to miss a single drop. We're gonna get in with a rubber spatula, scoop it out, and give a mix. Give it one last taste. And at this point, we can also add in our vanilla, splash of that, incorporate it in, about a tablespoon worth. All right, going with one last taste test. It's smelling so good, especially since we added that vanilla. Guys, that is perfect, right where it's at. Let's plate it up. Let's get the real taste test and the dense test. Can't forget that. We've got our rice pudding plated or jarred, I guess. Last thing I want to add, little pro tip, is since we are putting some fruit on here, I want to add a tiny touch of salt just to bring that back into the focus and really let those fruity tropical flavors shine. Let's go ahead and dive in and get a bit of everything. You can serve this warm or cold. I'm more partial to the warm side of things just because I like it that way. If you like it chilled, serve it up that way. Let's go for a bite though. Guys, wow. All the effort we put in is not wasted. You get those brown butter notes. Each individual rice grain is there playing its role. You get the nice creaminess, sort of glutinous texture. And then that salt touch at the end really allows the apple to come through. And man, those brown sugar candied walnuts and almonds are fire. You know, it's almost like an upgraded cinnamon apple oatmeal in a way.
This is looking amazing. It's smelling even better. Let's get a big piece of that. That's some damn good rice pudding, guys. The cinnamon and those candied almonds are such a great pair with the freaking rice pudding and everything that was made in that rice pudding. I think I'm gonna run off with this too.
Sugar rush. All right, guys, that's gonna bring us to the end of this recipe. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you in the next video, whether that be recipe, challenge, review. We got it all here. So like, comment, subscribe down below, and we'll see you later.